Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. I hope you're safe and healthy today. I hope your family is safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessing upon those that work in health, along with first responders who every day are doing their best to save lives, those that pick up garbage, keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children, victims of child molestation and pedophilia. Those helping the people that are victims of prostitution and child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, profiteers, and those perverts that create the demands that cause these injuries to exist. Finally, blessings, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, and military veterans on the streets of the United States of America. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Big night tonight. Opening night, Madison Square Garden, Cleveland Cavaliers. Big night tonight. Unfortunately, I just found out one of my former neighbors passed away, and there's going to be a service at 6 o'clock today for him, and I'm going to be there with a lot of my neighbors for this service, so I'll probably miss at least the beginning of the game, if not the whole game. And then tonight we're going to do our Bible study that would have been around 7 o'clock. It's going to probably be at 9:30. But I will have taped the game, and I will review the whole thing before tomorrow, so we'll know what's going on. But in the meantime, tonight, Mitchell Robinson is out, Josh Hart is out, and that's always going to be important because Mitchell Robinson especially is important. Now, the thing is, with the depth that the Knicks have, oh, by the way, aside from that, Darius Garland is out and Max Strus is out also. So Cleveland's going to be missing some important pieces as well. DeAndre Hunter is questionable. Karl-Anthony Towns is questionable, but I expect both of them to play. The thing is about the Knicks in this scenario is they are deep, and we have multiple lineups that we can play today. So let's assume, we don't have to assume. We know Mark Robinson is out. So Brown has a couple of options here. Normally, Mitchell Robinson would be starting, and especially against a Cleveland team that has two 7-footers in their front court when you're talking about Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley. So both of those guys are around 7 feet tall. You got DeAndre Hunter at the small forward spot, Donovan Mitchell, and you would have tonight Lonzo Ball. So Lonzo Ball, Donovan Mitchell, DeAndre Hunter, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen. Big, tall lineup. I would expect, but that's not necessarily true. Like I said, I don't know what exactly to expect from Brown, but I would think he'd want to match that and have a 5, a regular 5. So I'm expecting Ariel Huporty to start at the 5 with Karl-Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson. He could start Deuce and move Karl to the 5 because Jarrett Allen nor Evan Mobley can guard him at the 5. But he can't guard, in terms of, in my opinion, he cannot guard Evan Mobley effectively. Karl-Anthony Towns can guard Jarrett Allen, big enough, strong enough, and Allen's not a perimeter player. Evan Mobley can kill you from the perimeter or go to the basket on you and use his length. I think that would create a problem for Cat. So that's why I favor Ariel Huporty starting at the 5, because Huporty has the mobility to guard Evan Mobley, at least have a shot at it, and he could also guard Jarrett Allen. And this is the thing. I'm looking at it like, how many positions can your starting 5 guard? So Brunson can hold his own against both Ball and Mitchell. Of course, better against Ball than Mitchell. Most people are. Bridges can guard Ball. He can guard Mitchell. He can guard DeAndre Hunter if he has to. So he can guard at least 3 players on the floor. The 1, the 2, and the 3. OG Anunoby can guard anybody on the floor from 1 to 5. That's why they're going to be on the floor. Karl-Anthony Towns, as I mentioned, Jarrett Allen, he can guard. He's going to have a tough time if he has to guard Evan Mobley, and it's going to be a lot of switching to get that matchup. And then he'll have a tough time against anybody else on the floor for Cleveland. And this is where we're really going to see what's going on. But Hunter, Mitchell, Garland, not Garland, Ball, Hunter, Mitchell, Mobley, all of them will Carl's gonna have a problem with. But you got to keep him out there because you're gonna get 24 and 12 from him, and you can get at least get him to guard Jared Allen. Now, also, you're gonna have a bench of Deuce, Clarkson, Shamet, Yabusele, and then you will also have Jamison. You will also have Diawara. Now, here's the surprise. I would not be at all surprised if Diawara started, and I'll tell you why. At 6'9", with a 7'4" wingspan and NBA level defense, Diawara is capable of guarding at least 4 players on the Cleveland Cavaliers. He can guard Ball, Mitchell, Hunter, or Mobley. Okay, so that gives you a lot of versatility. But if you did that, you'd have to start Karl Anthony Towns at the 5. So you'd have Diawara at the 4, OG at the 3, McCall at the 2, and Brunson. Now, with that lineup, you have at least 3 players on the floor that can guard at least 3 players on Cleveland. And in McCall's case, he might even be able to guard, well, McCall could guard Mobley on the perimeter. I'm not sure about Mobley posting him up. That's a different story. But so you got at least 3 players, let's say, that can guard 4 players on the floor. In OG's case, he can guard all 5 of them. So that's a big defensive plus in my view. So I wouldn't be surprised if he started Diawara. But I wouldn't be surprised if he started Porty, who also, in my view, has the mobility to could probably guard all 5 players, because he could guard Jared Allen, he could guard Evan Mobley. He has the mobility, although I think Donovan Mitchell will victimize him. Donovan Mitchell is Donovan Mitchell, right? But then he could guard Lonzo Ball. He can guard, well, it's not Darius Garland today. It's going to be Evan Mobley. He could guard DeAndre Hunter. So you have Porty that could do that. Jamison is a strong, tough kid. I have trust in him to guard both Mobley and Allen. Not sure about the 3 wing players because, like I said, these guys are really good. So that's what we're going to see tonight. I would expect Ariel Porty to start, but I wouldn't be surprised if he started Diawara because of the defensive versatility that he brings to the table. Now, the Knicks bench will be McBride, Clarkson, Shamet, Yabusele, and then you still got Jamison, and you still got Diawara if he's not starting. You could, to me, that's a bench that competes with. This is the bench that's going to be tonight for Cleveland. Sam Merrill, Dean Wade, Larry Nance Jr. That's their bench. And then they have, could be Jalen Tyson, it could be anyone, Thomas Bryant, it could be anyone, a number of other guys, because Nance can play the 4 or the 5. Bryant is a 5, so they can go switch there. But I find in that scenario, the Knicks bench is stronger than the Cleveland bench. So especially when you're talking about a Jordan Clarkson, a Miles McBride, and a Shamet, who all play defense. Clarkson is the weakest of the 3 defensively, but even he puts his nose in there for defense. Yabusele plays defense. All of them can shoot the 3, and then if you put a Jamison in there, you got a nice bench right there. So the Knicks bench is going to be important today. Brown is definitely going to play 10 deep. There's no doubt in my mind he's playing 10 today. So that means at least all 10 of these guys are going to get 10 minutes or more tonight. You may have, then you got like guys like Pacome Dadier. I'm not sure how Tyler Kolek fits in here. We'll find out. But he's going to have Brunson, Bridges, Anunoby, Towns, Yabusele, Clarkson, McBride, Shamet, Ariel Porty, and probably Trey Jamison. They'll all get 10 minutes. Okay, so that's a full squad right there. And then we're not even talking about if Diawara starts. There you go. So I'm not sure how Tyler Kolek or Pacome Dadier fits in here. He may throw Kolek in there as a third-string point guard starting tonight because he'll have to play against, Sam Merrill and Dean Wade, Lonzo Ball, especially Ball and Merrill. So we'll see. This is going to be a test if he puts Tyler Kolek in there. But I'm not expecting him to get a rotational minutes today. He's probably going to get 6 to 8 minutes, but I'm not expecting rotational minutes because of the defense. Tonight you need defense. So we'll see. So I like tonight's matchup, even without Mitchell Robinson, even without Josh Hart. I'm more concerned with the missing Mitchell Robinson than I am about Hart, because though Hart brings a lot to the table, to me, Diawara makes up a lot of what Hart would bring to the table as a rookie, which is amazing. But defensively, with the length that he brings to the table, which he knows how to use, I'm not as worried about missing Josh Hart. Josh Hart is more of a hustle player, but if you've seen any of the preseason games, Diawara will get on the floor after that basketball very quickly. So you're not missing a whole lot there. And of course, he's 20 years old. So you got a young boy that's ready to throw his body around. So I'm not as worried about missing Josh Hart. But we know that Mitchell Robinson is capable of taking all the lunch money of the front court of Cleveland. But he was not playing tonight, so that's not going to happen. So that's, to me, the biggest missing piece today. But it's a good test for the Knicks. Opening night's a good test. How they're going to run their offense, how their defense particularly responds to Mitchell and Ball and DeAndre Hunter. DeAndre Hunter is and has been for a long time a Knick killer. He gets some of his biggest games against the Knicks starting in Atlanta and coming now up to Cleveland. So that's going to be interesting to see. So we'll see how this works out. I'm still picking the Knicks to win this game because of their depth, and I'm expecting Brown to make full use of 10 players. If they keep their turnovers low, and it's the same formula, keep your turnovers low, battle them on the boards, especially the offensive boards, which is where we're going to miss Mitchell Robinson. And then, of course, shoot a high number of threes, in play and get your 3 stops in a row multiple times. This is where they win the game. And if they could do that. And I like Diawara. I like Deuce. I like the defensive makeup of this team. And so because of that, even though we're missing Mitchell Robinson, I like Yabusele. I think we got a chance to beat them. And that's where the test's going to come. We're going to see how impactful the Knick bench is today. I'm expecting at least 30 points from the bench today. That is Jordan Clarkson, Deuce, Yabusele, Shamet. I'm expecting at least 30 points out the bench. That's going to be key for them today. So we'll see how this plays out. I'm going to miss the game because of the funeral, but like I said, I'm taping the game. So before tomorrow review of the game, I will have looked at the whole game and analyzed it probably a couple of times already. So that's what we're doing today. That's where we're at tonight. Enjoy this game. It's a good test, but and I know I'm saying what I'm about to say is going to be futile for a lot of y'all that can't control yourself. It's not the end of the world if they lose the game. It's game 1 of 82. Okay, it's just a good test to see where they are in terms of how Mike Brown wants to run his offense and how well they defend, especially the 3-point line on the defense. We're going to find out today. I like it. I was watching Oklahoma City, the double overtime game against Houston last night. And man, the Oklahoma City offense is a machine. It's a triangle that they run, but it's beautiful the way they run it. All of the players bought in, and of course, because they've been playing together for a minute, they know where to be on the floor. But that offense is something else. And having Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to get you a bucket at the close of an overtime or fourth quarter, that's huge. And it was huge last night. So they're going to be tough, but I think the Knicks can play with them. We just need some time to gel. And like I said, tonight is going to be a good test of that, and we'll see what happens. So enjoy the game. Don't get too crazy. I know I'm talking foolish because y'all going to. Let's see what happens tomorrow. If they win, that don't mean they're going to go 82-0. And if they lose, it ain't time to start trading everybody or firing Brown. Calm down, all right? We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Enjoy the game tonight. Salute.